Hello, and welcome to this session. Learning Outcome, LO1, understand the principles and examples of environmental policy and legislation. Environmental policies play a crucial role in shaping the world we live in today. They influence how societies respond to climate change, manage natural resources, and pursue sustainable development. In this session, we will explore how law, policy, and governance work together to address environmental challenges and guide us toward a more sustainable future. We will also examine the dynamic relationship between governments, businesses, and civil society and how their combined actions shape environmental outcomes. Environmental and social challenges often spark debate about solutions. This unit lets you explore how law, policy, and governance tackle climate issues. Understand the instruments used to drive change and their real-world impacts. Ethics in international negotiations are crucial, viewing climate change as a moral issue. The United Nations plays a key role in sustainable development. Significant legislation includes pollution, waste, and climate change laws. Key principles like the Rio Principles and Polluter Pays Guide policy. Environmental law differs from policy, each with unique roles. Legislative and judicial sources shape these laws. Understanding these frameworks aids in grasping environmental governance. Environmental policy manages human impact on nature. The precautionary principle urges early action against harm. The polluter pays principle holds polluters financially accountable. Sustainable development balances today's needs with future sustainability. Integration ensures environmental protection across all policy areas. The Environmental Protection Act of 1990 is foundational. The Environment Acts of 1995 and 2021 set targets on air and water. The Climate Change Act commits the UK to net zero by 2050. Clean Air Acts regulate smoke emissions and air quality. The Wildlife and Countryside Act protects species and habitats. EU rules like the Environmental Impact Assessment Directive still influence the UK. The Paris Agreement limits global warming and drives net zero strategies. The Kyoto Protocol set earlier emissions targets. The Convention on Biological Diversity promotes conservation. UN Sustainable Development Goals frame policy, especially in areas 12 to 15. Compliance with legislation avoids fines and legal action. Environmental policies guide corporate strategies. Regulators use principles to evaluate permits and systems. Environmental responsibility ties to public health and economic stability. Long-term resource security depends on effective policy implementation. The Environmental Protection Act of 1990 controls pollution. The Environment Act of 2021 adds long-term targets. The Climate Change Act sets carbon budgets and a net zero target. Clean Air Acts improve air quality and reduce health impacts. The waste regulations promote circular economy practices. Net zero by 2050 drives emissions reductions. The UK Emissions Trading Scheme rewards efficiency. Extended producer responsibility impacts packaging-heavy businesses. Environmental impact assessments add time and cost to planning. Environmental management systems encourage systematic controls. Fines can be unlimited for serious breaches. Enforcement notices require compliance and cleanup. Prohibition notices halt operations until compliance is met. Imprisonment is possible for deliberate breaches. Civil sanctions offer flexible penalties without court processes. The precautionary principle acts before certainty. The polluter pays principle charges polluters for damage. Prevention avoids harm instead of fixing it later. Sustainable development balances protection with needs. Biodiversity conservation protects ecological value. Environmental economics uses taxes to address issues. Ecological modernization supports growth with protection. The tragedy of the commons explains resource overuse. Systems theory views ecosystems as interconnected. Environmental justice tackles unfair burdens on vulnerable groups. Climate change drives net zero targets and policies. Biodiversity loss prompts new conservation strategies. Air quality policies target transport and industry emissions. Plastic pollution pressures recycling and circular economy measures. Water scarcity shapes regulation and enforcement. Net zero pathways explore decarbonization strategies. Circular economy research focuses on resource efficiency. Nature-based solutions investigate ecosystem benefits. Behavioral research studies policy response. Monitoring uses technology to track environmental impacts. Environmental issues impact social well-being directly. Poor air quality leads to health issues. Water pollution risks health and recreation. Climate change affects vulnerable communities. Biodiversity loss weakens food security and mental health. Consumer demand drives carbon emissions and waste. Urbanization increases pollution and green space loss. Transport choices affect emissions and air quality. Social preferences shape environmental outcomes. Inequality determines who suffers or benefits from policies. Environmental harms often affect disadvantaged communities. Access to sustainability solutions varies by income. Employment shifts from carbon-intensive to low-carbon sectors. Policies must consider distributional impacts. Early adaptation offers competitive advantages. Cleaner air supports healthier communities. Well-designed policies promote social equality. Flood management improves safety and well-being. Public campaigns drive policy changes. Social values shift corporate responsibility expectations. Air pollution impacts health and NHS pressure. Climate change causes flooding and job disruption. Water pollution affects health and recreation. Biodiversity loss leads to food insecurity. Waste generation influences community cleanliness. The UK reshapes frameworks outside EU law. New policies create uncertainty and transition issues. Environmental governance adapts to changing regulations. Businesses face challenges in compliance and adaptation. Post-Brexit policies influence environmental and social outcomes. Refer to ebooks and journals on Moodle for more insights. For queries, email learnerwork@ukversity.co.uk. Assignment submissions are due 2 weeks after unit completion. In conclusion, environmental policies play a crucial role in shaping how we interact with both nature and society. By understanding key legislation and guiding principles, we can support more sustainable development. When these policies are implemented effectively, they help secure a healthier, more resilient, and more sustainable future for everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at 074843616888. Our team will be more than happy to assist you. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you at the next session.